Hello. Hi, internet people. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna let this thing start up real quick. As you can see, I'm in my garage at my house. I don't ever film in here anymore. It feels weird doing something on YouTube in here. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm waiting to see a response if you guys can see and hear me to make sure this is going good. Yes, we see you. Your mic is muffled though. My mic is muffled? Is that better? Is it not muffled anymore? Hi. Someone tell me if the sound is good before I continue blabbing. Is it good? Audio is cutting out. Yes. Yes. I'm seeing a lot of yeses that the audio is good. So mic is fine. So if it doesn't sound okay and you're watching this right now, your speakers are poop. We'll go with that. Not muffled? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm in the garage with Forester and MR2. This thing hasn't moved in I don't even think I've started that car in a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I drove this yesterday. It's 30, I gotta wash it. Hello. Wow, there's a bunch of you. Chat's going fast today. How many people are in the chat already? This is crazy. This says there's 18 people in here. That doesn't look like 18 people. Hi. Let's see. You liked the NSX review? I liked the NSX also. That was a fire car. Oh, someone put sushi and taco emojis. I'm hungry right now. That's not cool. I want a sushi taco. I wonder if that's actually a thing. Is that a thing? Could you make a sushi taco? That'd be kind of gross, maybe. I don't know. You love my hair? Really? Why? Why do you love my hair? I literally haven't even combed it today. Lots of penguins. Lots of penguins. Oh wait, it's blocking the penguin. Someone is spamming penguins. I'm gonna show penguins. There you go. Oh, I got a super chat and it disappeared. Hold on. Super chat. Alex, what are your thoughts on the EPA and RPM Act? I briefly read on that and I don't know enough to speak on it. I just saw something and I was like, okay, SEMA is working with something to allow modifications from emissions on race cars or something. I don't know. I didn't really read the rest of it. Didn't really have time to. So I don't know. Couldn't answer that question. You want to see a Skoda review? Well, we don't have Skodas here in America, so I wonder if anyone's ever imported a Skoda here. If one ever appears in America, I'll be sure to review one for you. Go-kart mods, yeah. I'll give you guys some scoop on what's going on with the go-kart now that I'm sure there's enough people in here. So, I have a bunch of packages that arrived for the go-kart, a bunch of parts for the go-kart, and I went to the paint store last week and mixed up 2 different colors going with a single stage just because it's a go-kart and I'm not doing a base and a clear on a go-kart. So it's single stage that's meant to be painted over bare metal also. So I'm going to prep all the frame and going to be repainting it. And the frame's going to be one color. It's color matched to my helmet as best as possible with a single stage. I mean, it wasn't a perfect match, but I also didn't really care if it was dead even match with my helmet. It's I'm trying to blend panels or something. But yeah, it's color matched to some colors on the helmet. And then everything that was chrome on the go-kart, I'm going to paint gloss white. Because I'm not about that chrome life. I don't care for chrome on a go-kart. The only thing that'll stay a metal finish, I think, is the wheels, because those are just raw aluminum. So I'm gonna leave those. Someone Did I just get another super chat and I missed it? Where'd it go? Where'd the super chat go? Where'd it go? Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. It didn't show up at the top. Anyway, turbo the go-kart. No. There is something happening with the engine, and I'll leave it at that. I cannot say. Princess Peach outfit? Yes, I have a Princess Peach outfit. It's been cold here lately. It snowed yesterday all over the place. So, I'm not going to be doing Princess Peach outfit when it's in the 50s outside. That would not be fun. Put nitrous on the go-kart. I don't want to. Nitrous on the go-kart? I don't think it would do much. The wheels are so tiny on there. I would just spin the little wheels. How expensive is the wrap material? I want to say that roll of wrap, it was 75 feet. It was about $700 is what I paid for it. So like in relation to a paint job, it's huge savings over a paint job unless you do a half-ass paint job. I mean, sure, you could paint a car for cheap if you took like Mako or something, but my definition of a paint job is nowhere near $750 with a vinyl. So I think it's a lot cheaper. My nose is running. It's kind of chilly in my garage. Okay, so in this live stream, I want to talk about the International Car Show that DeBoss Garage is doing. I don't know if you guys remember last year, it was the International Quarantine Car Show, and I was the judge of the tuner taste category. So DeBoss Garage is doing that car show again this year, and now it's just the International Car Show. And there's a lot more YouTube channels participating. There's a lot more judges, a lot more categories. And I'm still judging the tuner taste category. And if you go to like DeBoss Garage's YouTube channel, there's a video that everyone kind of talks about their categories. And I just wanted to do a live stream with you guys because obviously all of you watching, I want to know this stuff. So if you want to enter into the car show, you can. And I'm going to explain it and answer questions since I'm one of the judges for my category specifically, what I'm going to be looking for. So that way, like if you want to enter into this, you'll know what I'm looking for if you want to enter into my category or if you're going to enter into one of the other judges' categories, depending on what type of vehicle it is. And you can enter it into multiple categories if it kind of like falls into like a couple categories. You guys can do that too. But watch Rich's video. He like really explains the car show well in depth on there. But yeah, since I'm doing the tuner taste category, I figured I'd do this and let you guys ask questions, kind of like what I'm looking for, I guess. Because I didn't know how long to make the little snippet for his video that like explained my category, and I thought they had to be like really quick, so I didn't really go in depth explaining my category. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm rambling now, so can my Prius with a V8 enter? If you really have a Prius with a V8, you absolutely should enter that. I'm not going to enter any of my cars, no. I don't think I'd ever take any of my cars to a car show, like any car show. I don't know. Like I would get nervous of people walking around the MR2 because I have so many hours of wet sanding into this thing, even though the paint still isn't perfect on it. I don't think I'll ever take a car to a car show. And I don't think I'm going to enter any of my cars into the International Car Show because I'm a judge and I don't know, that just seems weird if I was a judge and I entered into it. So, no, I'm not doing that. Electric go-kart. Yes, electric go-kart. I don't know why I just read that. Trying to read. I look like a pink marshmallow? Weird. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anyone asking questions about this specifically, because I wanted to talk about this. How many of you are actually going to enter your car into it? Because he's giving away prizes. I have it on my phone to see. And all the proceeds of it go to a good cause. So there, I think it's Doctors Without Borders. That's what they did last year. I want to make sure that's what they're doing again this year. Don't quote me on that. But it's on the website. You need to go to thebossgarage.com. You can see everything that I'm looking at. But the prizes, the first place is $2,000, and then second place is $1,000, and third is $500. And you have until March 26th to enter your cars. So I don't know if you guys know, but last year my category, the tuner taste, won the overall like first place of the entire thing. So that's why I'm like pushing this to you guys right now, because let's do it twice in a row. It was a Celica that, or Celica, how do they say it in other countries? Celica? The Celica, that one. But yeah, let me read some comments. Someone said big brain. Somebody watches PewDiePie. You have no car to enter, but this is very cool. 2G, yeah, it's $2,000. I think last year was $1,000 for the top prize. Now it's $2,000 the top prize. And the top winner last year, his car is the graphic for the website this year around. Super chats. Did I get a 12-inch penguin? I have not opened mail, so couldn't tell you. I get so many penguins in the mail. It's kind of out of control at this point. Sarah for president. I will never get into politics ever. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any more on questions. When am I getting a motorcycle? I am not ever getting a motorcycle. My dad's super into motorcycles. I never was into motorcycles, ever. I don't know. They're not my thing. I'm not really interested in motorcycles. I don't really ever want to ride one either. They kind of scare the crap out of me. Have I ever fixed a vintage car? Am I pointing the right direction? The MR2 is vintage. How many years is 1991 now? All right, it's not quite vintage. It's classic. No, it's vintage. It's almost 30 years. It is 30 years old. Wow, I suck at math. So yes, vintage car. Isn't that weird to think that? It is though. I just spaced out so hard. Oh, DeBoss Garage is in here. Motorcycles are organ donors. Motorcyclists are organ. Motorcycles? Robots need organs too. 91 UGG vintage. It is. What is the definition for 20 years is classic? What is vintage? 30 years or is vintage 50 years? What is the definition of vintage? Someone answer that. You should put all the penguins. No, that's just creepy. I don't want to be the penguin lady. You may be moving to Arizona for school. Any advice I can give on the car scene? I don't know enough about it. I've gone to Cars and Coffee here a couple times. And we have our own car meets now once a month at the shop. We're trying to get going. It's called Rods and Wieners because we have hot rods, cars, and we also have a food truck that sells hot dogs, so it's called Rods and Wieners. The food on that food truck is on point. He's got veggie dogs and veggie burgers also, I believe, too, in case you were wondering. 100 years is antique, 25 years is vintage. So there you go. Yes, I have worked on a vintage car before. Oh, mass is 25 is for antique. I think that's true in Arizona too. I think the antique plates were like 20 or 25 years. Antique is 50. All right, I guess it depends on the state. Is it different per state? What about overseas? Simp? Simp Nation. Simp. It's a weird word if you say it multiple times over and over again. Try it. Rods and meters, yes. What happened? God, I get asked so often what happened to little Sarah. So, she has a life. She is a full-time student and she works full-time. And she lives like 45 minutes away. So, I think she graduates this year. She graduates with her bachelor's in electrical engineering. I think it's September or October, I think she graduates. She's almost done her undergrad though, almost. I don't know if she's gonna finish post-grad. I think she was planning on it. I told her not to waste her time. Just like, I think a bachelor's in electrical engineering with her background as a technician is plenty, but that's just my opinion. 12-volt wizard. I don't know what the hell that means. Soy burgers. Someone barfed at soy burgers aren't bad. I like black bean burgers. They're pretty good. Oh, the Beyond burgers, those are pretty tasty too. Will I take the cart to the cart track? Probably. That's a pretty good possibility for that. Review a Porsche Taycan Turbo. Taycan? I don't have access to Porsche, so no Porsche reviews. Unless you guys like bug Porsche's social media, they probably still would care less if you did that, but I don't have any way to review Porsches. Someone says, do I have any creeps recognized? That's mean. Yeah, I get recognized a lot when I go to places, usually if it's like automotive related or like hardware stores and stuff. I got recognized on a plane once. That was really weird. So when I was like sitting in the seat and someone walked by and I was like, oh, hello. If you're watching this right now, hello again. It's really weird when it happens though. I'm just like, why me? Get track car and do racing content. That's what the TT's for. As soon as I can only work on so much at a time. Sorry, I'm trying my hardest. I literally have the guys next door working on the Focus right now, just so I didn't think you guys wanted to see 6 or 7 videos of me welding tiny holes and kitty hairing over stuff on the interior of the shell so I could get it ready to paint. So I'm just paying them to do that work on the Focus because the last video on the Focus didn't do too well. It's kind of sad because I'm putting a lot of effort into that car. So probably the next video you see on it is when I paint the car. I'll definitely make a video of when I paint it. Where is car meet? I don't know how to answer that question. You didn't give me enough in the question to give you an answer. Greetings from Belgium. Hello. I've been to Belgium before. You guys have really tasty beer. Project cars are addicting. Yes. When doing car reviews, at what speed do I hit the brakes? The legal posted speed limit. More Jeff content. There will be more Jeff content. There will always be Jeff content. Vintage cars are only before 1930. Really? 80 years ago? Wait. Do I suck at math? Wait. 90 years ago? Can you believe I actually graduated college and I can't do simple math? Anyway, we'll go back to talking about the car show stuff because I don't know if you guys ask questions. I can like read like this much of stuff flying past my face. So my category, the tuner taste category, I'm going to be judging your fish and how well it tastes. I prefer ahi, yellowtail. That was not funny at all. I'm sorry. I got a super chat. That joke sucked. He was looking at a Blosser N with a DCT. Oh, really? That's awesome. I really like the Blaster N. That's like one of my favorites out of cars I've used. Saltwater or fresh fish? Ooh. I don't know. Like, I prefer freshwater eel over saltwater eel when I have sushi, like eel sushi. And isn't it sweet shrimp? Is sweet shrimp freshwater? Or is that saltwater? It's weird because they give you like the shrimp's head that's like deep fried after, and you like eat the head, and it's got like the brains in it and stuff. It's good. I'm getting so hungry for sushi right now. Uncle Bobby, love the content. How's the TT? The TT has been sitting on the lift in my shop since that lift was put in the shop and has not budged since. The gasoline is so old in the fuel tank that it's probably in a gelatin state at this point. And more Forester content. I don't really have much to do with the Forester at this time. All shrimp is saltwater. Oh. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. I want a pet shrimp. Salmon, yum. VR6 swap to TT. I really thought about doing an engine swap on the TT. And if I ever swapped anything into it, I was trying to look this up. So supposedly because the TT, the 8NTT, shares the chassis with the Mark IV Golf, I believe that is also similar to the Beetle, which the Beetle had the 2.5 5-cylinder non-turbo available in that engine. So in theory, that would mean that the 2.5 non-turbo 5-cylinder would fit into the TT, the 8NTT, with minor modifications to the like mounting points, I would think, and then just like build that engine for boost and turbo it, and then you'd have a 5-pot 8NTT. I don't know, that's just like speculating from digging around the internet. I haven't seen anyone actually do that, but that was an idea. I just don't know how well that generation of Haldex would cope with higher horsepower levels. I've seen some 8NTTs with the 1.8T, and I'm still, that were above 500 wheel horsepower, and I don't know what happened to the Haldexes in there, but those ideas I thought about. It says 5-cylinder came in the Mark V, not the Mark IV. Yeah, but the Beetle though. Didn't the Beetle not really change throughout that time period? And it came in the Beetle. Yes? No? Someone explain that one to me. That's why I thought the Beetle was like the loophole in that situation. Is there a solid list of other YouTubers involved in? Yeah, it's a solid list. Let's see if Rich is still on here. Maybe he can type it faster than I can read it to you. It is. Let's see. So it's Bad Obsession Motorsports, Tavarish, Walker Farms, Speed Academy, Gears and Gasoline, Flying Sparks Garage, Junkyard Digs, Blackjack, PFI Speed, myself, Regular Car Reviews, Neutral Drop, The Skid Factory, Vice Grip Garage. Those are the other YouTube channels participating. And they each have their own categories. And someone said throwing bananas. Oh, there will be bananas thrown out of my golf cart or go-kart. Don't you worry about that. That is going to happen. Probably not even going to be the peels. I'm probably just going to take a cluster of whole bananas. What is a cluster of bananas called? It's not a cluster. Bunch? I'm probably just going to take the whole ass banana and just chuck them. I think that'd just be more satisfying than because you try to throw a banana peel at 40 miles an hour on a golf cart, it's probably not going to go in front of you. So my idea would be to just kind of like boomerang the banana. I put a lot of thought into that, if you couldn't tell. It's a bunch or a bushel? Cluster. Okay, here's the answer. The 06 Beetle 2.5 manual is a direct drop-in swap from Mark IV using the same harness. In a TT, it's a nightmare because of space. I've seen a VR6 swapped into front-wheel drive Beetle before. So if it's a direct swap into a Mark IV using the same harness, the 1.8T fits in a Mark IV in the same 1.8T. I don't think that AMU 225 1.8T was ever offered in the States in a Mark IV GTI. But wouldn't that in theory still work? Or are you referring to like the physical dimensions of the bay on the TT are actually smaller despite the mount locations being the same, and that's what would be the issue? Because I could see that possibility. It has a weird engine bay on that car, and it is pretty damn close to where the timing belt is at. Either way, it'd be pretty cool to try to pull off. Don't think I'm going to do it, though. I just don't have the logistics to do something crazy like that. We're still going on about the bananas. I love that. I get so sidetracked. I gotta talk about my category real quick, and then we'll talk about more bananas again. The tuner taste category, because I didn't really specify what I'm looking for in the category, and if you're actually watching this because you care about the information. So, like, tuner taste, this is just my opinion on a tuner car. So, like, for instance, my Forester. Most of the modifications I've done on this thing, I've been trying to stick with stuff that is kind of associated with Subarus typically. So I have like Perrin performance parts on here. I have like, I had the Cobb access port. I don't know if Cobb is necessarily associated with Subaru anymore. They kind of do all kinds of other brands. I have a lot of factory STI components that came on the STI Forester over in Japan, Australia. I don't know where else they offer the STI TS Forester. Maybe like the Philippines they offer over there. Stuff like that. And then like, for instance, like the MR2, if I have like TRD components on here, and I don't have any, but if I had like some Tom's parts for this thing, that'd be dope if I had some Tom's parts for it. Brands that are like aftermarket companies that kind of like revolve around that type of car, to me that's like a tuner car. It's like OEM plus type stuff, not like crazy over the top. That's, in my opinion, that's tuner taste. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Japanese car, because that follows suit with American cars and European cars. But then there is also a line I feel with American cars, like, to me, a Mustang or a Charger isn't really a tuner car. That's more of like a pony car or a muscle car. But like a Focus RS, to me, that's more of like a tuner car. It's in that kind of a realm. So that's kind of like what I wanted my category to be judging for, is stuff like that. Kind of like OEM plus. Motor swaps are okay, but kind of like keeping it in the family type thing. Like a Honda with a Honda swap, Subaru with a Subaru swap, stuff like that. And I want to see like stuff where the person that owns the car did the work. I don't care if it took like 9 years to build the car, but I don't want to see stuff like someone just dropped it off at a shop and said, oh, hey, do all these things to my car. Because that just kind of, to me, that takes the joy out of being a car enthusiast. Even if you're not like a skilled mechanic, I just still like seeing people try and doing stuff on their own. So that's what I'm going to be looking for judging for my category. So those are the cars that are going to rise up in my category as far as my judging. If that helps explain things. Maybe if I just explain that now and you have a car that's similar to what I just explained, maybe that just enticed you to try to enter into this. So let's see, super chats. What's your thoughts on about the next gen STI? I don't know why my nose is running so much right now. I don't have any tissue out here. Next gen STI, I've read up on it a little bit, trying to see what's going on, and I kind of think this is going to be another sedan similar to what we have that looks somewhat different. I think it was the Visiv concept. I don't know what the hell the name of the concept was, but I don't know. I was really hoping it was going to be offered in a hatch for the next generation STI, but I don't think it's going to be. So that's kind of sad. I like that's going to have the FA24 in it, because I'm obviously a fan of the FA series engines. That's why I chose buying this Forester over an STI, because I was actually car shopping for an STI or a Golf R when I bought the Forester. And I don't care for sedans, and I really was kind of into the FA series engine the more I was reading up on them. So, and the FA24, I think in my opinion, is probably a much better engine than the FA20. So I'm kind of excited for the mechanical aspects of the next gen STI, but not so much if it's just going to be offered only in a sedan. Maybe hopefully they'll do a coupe version. That'd be kind of dope. But will you review EVs more and more? Yeah, if they become available in the press fleets, absolutely. I have not reviewed a full EV, and I think a lot of the issue for that is a lot of the cars I get come out of Phoenix. So there's quite the range. I mean, they would have to, I think that's not too far range-wise to make that drive. It's like 130 miles or something. So yeah, it would have to be like a tiny range on that EV. But yeah, I will do EVs more as they start coming out. It's not like I'm anti-EV car. I just haven't really had the opportunity to review any. Someone said EJ or FA. I am very pro FA. I've owned a WRX with an EJ in it before. I like the rumbly sound of an EJ series engine, but I'm very much pro FA series. Matrix XRS is a project car. Probably not, but those are kind of cool. They had the 2ZZ in them, didn't they? If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's weird. It's my hair. I actually am drinking my hair. I have a bottle of my hair. It's collagen aloe vera infused peach and plum water. I don't know why I drink such weird things. What about BMW? I don't have access to BMWs either, unfortunately. I would love to review some BMWs because I have a soft spot for BMWs. I almost bought a BMW 135i when they first came out. I really like those cars. I think the 135i is one of my top favorite BMWs. I don't know. I like the weird bulbous look to them. They look like I don't know, they're just like weird looking. I like that. Especially the 1M. It's crazy how much those things are worth now. Favorite BMW. Favorite BMW? Probably the 1M, not the M1, which would be the mid-engine car from the 80s, but the 1 Series 1M. I really like those. I really like the Z3M Coupe, the clown shoe, and the Z4 version of that. I like those a lot. I don't know the E series of this, but it would be the 80s generation 5 series cars before E39. Whatever came before E39 for the 5 series. I think those are kind of dope. I love BMW wagons. I think you could get the 335D in a wagon. Could you not? I think those are kind of cool. New generation Z4. I haven't seen one in person yet. Oh, the 850s. Yeah, those are really dope. I like those too. E34? Okay, yeah. I'm kind of a fan of the E34s. Those are kind of cool. I remember when I lived in Germany, there was a car I used to see all the time. It was an E30 3 Series. I don't think it was an M. It was just the E33 Series. It was white. It had neon green, like turbofan wheels on it. It was kind of like DTM style, and it was a track car. It was like caged and stuff. That car was so cool. It looked sick. Anyway, Phoenix Green. Do I know a lot about Foresters? I've read a lot. I read a lot about cars in general. I kind of stopped paying attention to the Forester after the SJ generation. When they got rid of the Forester XT, I was like, I don't care about Foresters anymore. So I haven't really paid attention to the newer ones. Not that they're not any good. I don't know, just have no interest in them becoming solely just a utilitarian crossover soccer mobile. Like, I thought they were cool when you could get them with the WRX drivetrain because it was kind of like a sleeper. But do I golf? I like playing Top Golf. I'm terrible at it, and I always go for, I don't know if Top Golf are configured the same way at all Top Golfs, but there's like the closest hole to the left side. I always go for that one, and for some reason I can always hit it in that one. And if I try to hit a different one, I end up hitting it still in that one. So Top Golf's fun, but I suck at golf. Get a T-Rex. I had one for review. I haven't edited the review yet. I have about 5 car reviews that I have not edited. And I mean, when I sit down to edit a car review, it takes me a good part of a day. And I also have to make content for you guys. So it's kind of hard. And like I had my sister editing for a while, but she just didn't really have a passion for editing the videos. It was kind of a lot. So I'm just going to have her help out in other areas. So it's back to me editing the videos and filming and making the videos while working on project cars at the same time. So as you can see, that's why I don't get a ton of progress done on project cars, because I'm doing like the job of like 4 people, and it's kind of crazy. SVS project car. SVXs are cool. I feel like it'd be really hard to get parts for one of those though. Do you know if the Audi TT Mark 1 1.8 20 valve can swap manual transmissions to DSG? Can you put a DSG on the 1.8T? I don't know. I know that, was it the ME 7.5? Is that the ECU that's in those? I know those things are capable of doing a lot. I don't know if that's possible. But from what I understand, those cars are pretty adaptable to working with, doing weird stuff. If you're talking about doing the opposite, yeah, 1.82 with a DSG. I don't know. Is that first generation DSG really any good that came in the VR6 cars? I don't really know a whole lot about them. Review an EV Hummer? That's a possibility. I do review General Motors vehicles, so it's a possibility that I might be able to review one of those. I think the first one I'll probably be able to review is the Mustang Mach-E. I'm guessing that'll be one of the first EVs. What's the difference between a BMW and a Hedgehog? On the Hedgehog, the brakes are on the outside. Okay, that's kind of funny. You have an SVX and parts are hard to come by? Yeah, I could imagine that. Am I still getting the Bronco? Yep, have not heard anything about it still, so I'm hoping maybe by June I'll have it. I'm kind of excited to get it, like, because I actually enjoy driving my sister's Xterra. I had to bring it over the shop to vinyl wrap it, and it's just something about driving a 4x4 SUV with a manual transmission. It's so satisfying. It's not fast, but it's just satisfying to drive. So I'm like kind of really excited for the Bronco for that reason. I think it's gonna be a fun vehicle just to like actually just daily too. I still do want to do a manual swap in this thing, but I gotta knock out some other projects before I ever consider doing this. I don't ever plan on getting rid of the Forester, so there's a strong possibility within the next year or so I'll get a hold of a wrecked STI. And I really want to try to make the STI, the ISN gearbox, and that work with this FA20 instead of just doing the WRX 6-speed. I know there are differences mounting those up, but if I'm going to put all that effort into doing it, why not put the better transmission in the vehicle? So, let's see. You love the Elantra review? That's awesome. I always want to review the like simple cars It's kind of a hit or miss though, because like if you think about the amount of labor and hours and time that go into making one of those car reviews, if they don't do that well view wise, then it's like, is it worth my time to do it? Because this is still my job. Like I make a living doing this, and it kind of hurts sometimes because I want to do cars just because I'm curious about driving anything. But if the review doesn't do that well, then it's like, did I just waste 3 days of time making the video? So it kind of sucks. I wish I didn't have to worry about stuff like that. Let's see. I know you love the NSX, but how to compare against the LC500? They're not comparable. They're two different. It's like you can't compare an NSX versus LC500. They're different experiences, different purposes. The LC500 is a work of art on wheels. That's what I view that car as. It's just a gorgeous car. It's like, I'm pretty sure a stock Mustang GT would outperform it in most aspects, but it's just such a gorgeous car. I think it's a car that is going to absolutely become a collector car when we're riding around and flying bubbles that teleport to another dimension. I don't know if we'll be collecting cars then. I like seeing a simple car reviews. Can't always be 100. I know. I try to do lower cost cars because a lot of the cars I review, I'm just like, dude, who the hell can afford these cars? Like, I don't think the vast majority of people are buying a lot of these cars because they're so expensive. I don't understand why, like, there's not a lot of low cost cars now in the market compared to like 15 years ago. I feel there's way more affordable options out there that were fun. It's kind of crazy. Do I prefer the Mark II TT or the... I don't understand the question. Sorry. My brain broke trying to read. Where's the GT500? I haven't had one available to review. Toyota Sarah. That'd be really funny if I had a Toyota Sarah. My name's Sarah. Some of you watch my content for my jokes. I'm sorry. Is that a joke? You watch my content for my jokes? How many of you are watching? There's 1,300 of you watching, 1,292 of you watching. Are we ever going to do the wasabi thing? I said if I ever got 2,000 people on a live stream, I'd do wasabi. I don't have wasabi here, but I wonder if it'll ever be possible. I wonder what time of day and what day of the week would be optimal to do that, to try to hit 2,000 in a live stream. I don't know why I want to eat a clump of wasabi. That's absolutely stupid. I'm going to hate life for like 6 hours after that. But maybe I should keep wasabi on hand. How long does wasabi last for? You missed the abandoned warehouse? Well, that thing's gone, so they scrapped the entire building. Last I went out there, they were loading up all the scrap metal on trucks and hauling it off. So I don't know if they're ripping out the foundation and what they're going to do with that. They're probably just going to put homes up in that area, which is weird because it's like it had rail access to a major rail line. The one that goes, I think the rail line that runs near I-10 is like the main rail line for this part of the U.S. And the abandoned warehouse had rail access. I wouldn't see them putting houses there, but I don't know. Who knows what they're going to put there. Should have taken a piece of the old warehouse. Yeah, but also it's not my property, and some people get weird about that stuff. I don't want to get shot trying to take a piece of abandoned warehouse. So that's okay. Wasabi has a 10,000 year half-life. That is no. Hello from Alberta. How long has this live stream been going for? I could sit here and just, maybe I should do Twitch. because I could just like sit here and ramble for a really long time. And I feel like that's not really what YouTube live streams are for. That's what Twitch is for. I have a Twitch account. I just never post on it. Maybe I should. You can get fresh wasabi. What's the next big endeavor? I don't know. I'm supposed to. I was gonna fly out to New Jersey to visit Liz like the last week of this month, but I'm pushing it back a week or two. So I gotta look at plane tickets. Probably today. I'll probably look at plane tickets, and I'm gonna fly out to Jersey for a few days, because she flew out here so many times last year. So I'm gonna fly out there and visit the East Coast. I'm like low-key waiting for it to get a little bit warmer, just a tad bit warmer. I don't do New England cold anymore. I don't live in New England for that reason. Just kind of gave up on that life. I should do Twitch. I should. If I ever get somehow manage to get more time, like if I get someone else to edit videos, maybe I'll start doing Twitch. That is my next goal, is to get someone to at least edit the car reviews. And I'm so particular to make sure like I don't change up the format of how the car reviews are right now, because you guys seem to like what you watch and I don't want to change it so you're like, what the hell happened? So, and they're not easy to edit. Ask my sister. Those car reviews are a monster to try to edit. So I don't know. That's my next endeavor. That way I have more time to do. I probably won't use that time to have more free time myself, but maybe I'd probably try to knock out more work on project cars. And I would like to do Twitch because I do like playing video games. I just never have time to play video games. You mentioned a Porsche Cayman last time. Yeah, I like, I was actually looking at those used. I feel they're still good value to buy used ones. Even the 986, so I think it's 986 generation Boxster S's. I think those are good value right now. I like those. I think they look pretty cool for hardtop. I think I'd rather have a Cayman than first gen Boxster. Wasabi is best eaten immediately after mixing. I've never had like real wasabi. I don't think, unless I've gone to a restaurant and they had real wasabi and I didn't know the difference. I think it's not as green, right? Like natural, like real wasabi. A lot of that green is like dye or whatever. Would I buy a 911? Not really affordable at this moment to buy a 911 unless I got like a super high mileage one or something. Plus I already am buying the Bronco, so after I buy the Bronco, I'm probably not gonna have any funds to buy another car unless it's a pile of crap like most of my project cars are when I buy them. Xterra needs a V8. No, it doesn't. Will I be getting graffiti artists to paint the shop? Maybe. I don't know. Like, I like the nice clean look of the wall too. I'm kind of, at first I was like all about it. Now I'm just kind of like, it's just nice. It's a nice clean background for doing car reviews. I'm torn on it now. My nose is running. Have I ever driven a WRX STI? Yes, I've driven all generations other than the right-hand drive GC based or a blob-eye based STI. If I had to choose STI or Type R, I don't know. It's a tough one. Depends on the model year of both. I'm trying to read as much of these as I feel like a lot of live streams I get blabbing and I don't do enough of reading of your comments, so I'm gonna try to read as much of these as I can for this live stream. Get an intern to edit. Thought about it. I think an intern would look at what I have to do for editing and they'd be like, yeah, no, sorry, elsewhere. I don't think it's kind of like, I dread editing my car reviews at times. I like editing them because like I like the creativity aspect, but when you're just sitting there hunched over the laptop and you're like, okay, it's been 7 hours now, it's kind of, it wears on you. Cosplay Japanese cars with licorice. What? I would like to cosplay some stuff. That's fun. Cosplay's cool. Volkswagen GTI project? No. If I replace the TT with something for a project, the TT, when that's done, it will get replaced with another European car, and I already have pretty much my mind made up now on the car that will replace that. I've mentioned it maybe before in a live stream, maybe. I would intern as a mechanic. Yeah, it's always fun having someone help out with mechanics. I've been just paying the guys next door to help out with mechanical content, just because I trust both of them with anything mechanically. They're both very competent, and I like helping out their business because like their DIY shop is a separate business. So as much as I can try to help them out, then I'm gonna try to do that. EK Civic Revival. I was never really a big fan of the EKs. More EG. I like the EJ1 coupe. That's my jam right there. Oh my god, this is like slowly starting to hurt my brain trying to read these. Porsche Cayman 987. Yeah, that's the one I like. The 987 ones. Audi RS3. I would go TTRS over RS3. I'm kind of biased if you haven't noticed. A little bit of a fan of TTRS. There's actually one for sale. I was just browsing cars for sale around here. I was looking at Audis. And there is a Nardo Gray TTRS for sale in Tucson. I think they want like 50 something for it. I was kind of like drooling over it, looking at it. I was like, one day I'll have a TTRS. Triumph Spitfire. Triumphs are kind of cool. Would I get a car from the UK? Most likely it'd be from like France or Germany or Belgium or Luxembourg or Spain, somewhere around there. So the steering wheel is on our side of the road. Just because I don't feel like having to deal with like... It's fun like to have a right-hand drive car just for kicks, I guess, in the US, but if I could get the same thing in left-hand drive, because we drive on the side of the road, I would just buy one from mainland Europe, so it's on the correct side for the way our like drive-throughs and everything is set up here. Do I have any advice on picking out a project car, getting started into car stuff? I keep eyeballing a 300ZX. If you're just getting started, I don't know if I'd recommend a 300ZX because that engine bay is not novice friendly. Although I am a fan of the 300ZXs, I just don't think that's what the route I would go. My first car that got me into cars was a CRX. I think that's a great, something simple is awesome to start with. I'm not saying get a CRX. I'm just saying like that engine bay. I had a 350Z before, and that was still just not an enjoyable engine bay to work on. I would say spend the most money you can on a car. Don't, like when I first started doing this YouTube channel with these project cars, I didn't have the means to spend a lot of money on a project car. And that led to me spending 3 years working on this thing just to get to the state that it's in now. Whereas looking back at it in hindsight, I would have just spent 12 or 13 grand and gotten a clean example of an MR2 that didn't need paint work and didn't need every single thing replaced on it, and just started at a higher level. That way I could have focused on more enjoyable parts of modifying a car instead of replacing stupid crap and spending years. It's not really worth the time, honestly. Like my TT, for instance. The smart thing to do with that TT would have to bought one that was like, I don't know, 8 to 10 grand that had under 100,000 miles on it, had perfect original paint, and was in good mechanical running condition. Instead, I bought a car that should have been used as a parts car, and I don't even know how many good parts I could have gotten off of that thing. So that's why the TT is sitting on a lift in my garage, and I haven't touched it in so long, because it was a parts car that I tried to bring back from the dead. So if you're gonna buy a car as your first project car, keep that in mind. Try to get the best possible version of that car you can, and don't look at a pile of crap on Craigslist for like $1,000 and be like, yeah, that's a great idea, I'll have that thing like perfect in 12 months. No. Like, it's just not worth it, the amount of time you're gonna put into it to get it to a respectable level. I'm sure a lot of you can agree with that. It's just, unless you want something of that nightmare level of project that you'll be working on for several years before you can enjoy it. Do I have any plans to review a Ridgeline? I have not ever had one to come across to review. I would like to. I've never driven a Ridgeline. I think that'd be fun to take one off-road. Get a cheap banger and see how things work. I mean, if you don't care for it to be like pristine, then sure. If you want to get like a clapped out car and just see how fast you can make it, I guess it depends on what your direction is with a project car. I think I'm coming from the position of my entire life have always been more OEM plus with the type of cars that I have. I think you guys can see that with all of my vehicles I own. I kind of steer in that direction. So I don't know. All depends on what you're looking for a project car. You could get a clapped out like Volvo 240 wagon and throw a mod motor and a turbo on it and just make a doom wagon, I guess. Not worry about broken plastic pieces and trim and crappy paint and bushings that are turned into dust. How fast is fast enough? That's a good question. My opinion is to not overpower the chassis of the car. I'm not really into drag racing, so like, I guess maybe if you're into drag racing that doesn't apply, but I always like keeping it within reason of what the engineers of the car originally had in mind for it, and then taking it like 20 to 25% above that level. That way the car still is like not out of whack in any area. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. That's where I say fast is fast enough. In that instance, just get a faster baseline car to start with to go up. Unless you have unlimited money to dump into a car and have tons of people working on it. That's my thoughts. Put a Coyote in the Bronco. I think that'd be pretty cool if they offered the Coyote in the Bronco. I am super excited about the Bronco having the 2.3 EcoBoost with a 7-speed manual though. I'm about that combination of that engine and that, because I loved it in the Ranger. I thought that I'm a huge fan of the Toyota Tacoma because of the fact you can get a 6-speed manual still. But powertrain wise, every time I review a Ranger, I'm like, this is such a fun truck. I'm like, what if they were to put a manual in this thing? So I'm so excited about that combination. So I will never Coyote swap my Bronco ever. I think it's an awesome idea though if someone did it. I think it'd be interesting to see, but inline 6 or V6? It depends on the engine. VR6. I know if Malacca Motorsports is watching this and I just said that, they would be like so happy. That's the way I'm going to go in that answer. VR6 over inline or V6. Would I accept a German car as a donation? I can't take on any more cars. I got to take care of what I have right now. I mean, I took on the go-kart project, which takes my time away from working on other vehicles I already have. I have everything ready to do the standalone on this thing and make it 85 capable, and I don't have time to start working on that yet. I bought the go-kart because we all kept on talking about it around the shop. Like, it'd be so fun if we had go-karts and we like had a racing league and we just cosplayed as Mario Kart characters. So I bought the go-kart, and then that just kind of like, you can't frown on a go-kart. That project was more for me than anything, just like, because I don't know, I have so much fun driving that go-kart. And the fact that you guys seem to like the content is a win, because it's so fun. I don't really have a ton to do with the go-kart. Like, after I put on all the parts I have for it already and paint the frame and stuff, won't be a ton left to do. It'll just be pretty much just every once in a while just rip it out and make a little bit of content driving around randomly in a video, but maybe take it to the go-kart track. Would I modify the 86 Hakone edition? Very lightly. I like that car a lot. I would do like, I would keep the factory wheels that it comes with, but also, I don't know how that would look if TEs. I mean, I would keep the bronze wheel theme with it. Maybe the ZE40. The ZE40 is the name of that wheel. I wonder what those would look like on that car. Or some bronze CE28s. I do like really minor stuff to that Hakone. I wouldn't really modify it too much. It's kind of a special car. I think that I have a feeling the 86 and the BRZ are going to go the way of the 240SX. I think they're going to turn into a bunch of drift cars once they get lower cost, like used. They're going to get destroyed, modified like extensively, and then once they get sold from there, who knows what will happen to them. I think you're going to see the same thing with the 240. They're going to start going up in value. There's going to be a lot less of them available around when they're as old as the 240 is now. And then they're going to start being desirable. So I think like if you had a Hakone edition or like a BRZ TS, I wouldn't modify it much. I would do OEM plus on those and like keep it in nice shape. V6 swap the MR2. No, if I ever swap anything into this car, I was actually thinking about like a beams swap would be pretty cool. But I won't ever beam swap it. I'm just keeping it how it is. I want to put a beams in something. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever like, I don't know if it's popular to beams swap the ZZW30. I feel like 2ZZ swaps are more popular because it comes with a 1ZZ and it's probably easier, but I think they make more, I think the 2ZZ makes more power than a beams also. Maybe. The beams sounds really good though. I don't know. Have you ever driven a Celica all-track? No, I'd love to though. Show you guys my nails. I don't know. When does click on this thingy? I gotta see. There's a lag. There's my nails. There's sunflowers. It's like baby vomit green and sunflowers. I've totally just brain farted what I was gonna say. I think this has been almost an hour now though. Has it? How long has this been going for? I started at 12:15. It's been an hour. This went by fast. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to end the live stream and immediately go start filming and editing the next video. So, trying to think. It's March. Might do a live stream around my birthday next month. That'll probably be the next one. Okay. I'll see you guys. Bye. How do I end it? Oh.